tonight on CTV News at 5.
I think that people, generally speaking, the Gen Z, are now starting to understand what etiquette truly is.
Needs work. That's what some experts think about the office etiquette of Gen Zs.
It's a pile of fun to watch. It's a pile of fun to do it, actually.
Log on to the action. Maritime lumberjacks put their skills and axes to the test.
This guy is, close to the end of his life, and he's just like, I refuse to give this up because it's something that I just love doing.
Lasting legacy. An Ontario man honors a late Cape Breton running icon.
Wet weather, rain heavy at times is expected overnight and into Tuesday.
Live from the Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Panopalis. Thanks for joining us. First at 5 tonight, work in progress. Gen Z entered the workforce mid-pandemic when masks and remote meetings were the norm. But some experts say it's impacted their soft skills or lack thereof. As CTV's Vanessa Wright reports, now that we're back to business as usual, many younger employees are struggling to fit into office culture. Vanessa.
That's right, Maria. As someone who falls in that Gen Z category myself, it's not a shock to me that so many young people are feeling intimidated by office etiquette. But experts say the reasons for this are complex.
The pandemic is fading, but its impacts are proving to be long-lasting, particularly when it comes to the underdeveloped social skills of Gen Z, as the expectation to move from online to in-person became a reality.
Did you struggle with the social skills once everything returned back to normal?
Yes, I struggled a little bit. Even though I knew people before, it was strange to come and talk to them.
Clinical psychologist Dr. Simon Sherry says the effects felt by Gen Z, people born between 1997 and 2012, have much to do with the restrictions that were in place during COVID.
They were exposed to prolonged remote learning. On top of that, they're a generation very much involved in screens, which doesn't promote your social and emotional competencies in real time.
As a result, etiquette specialist Julie Blake-Homo says important soft skills like a strong handshake were never taught or adapted. Same thing goes for social skills outside the workplace.
Dining etiquette, a lot of them find themselves at a power business lunch or breakfast or dinner, and they're paralyzed because they don't know, is that my bread plate? Is it okay to clink wine glasses? How do I say no if I don't want to have a drink?
So how can you tell if you may be in need of workplace etiquette?
If after an event, a meeting, you're constantly thinking back, oh, yeah, that wasn't great, eh? I wish I would have known better. I wish I would do better.
Como says her Gen Z clients have expressed a willingness to learn.
I do believe that the soft skills, that the etiquette will help all, not only Gen Z employees, but all of us live happily at work.
It's going to be difficult and a little stressing, but the more we'll do it, the more it's going to be easy and normal to us.
Now, experts agree Gen Z is in need of some guidance. They'd like to see more mentorship programs offered by employers to help young people become more confident in any environment. Maria.
Thank you, Vanessa. CTV's Vanessa Wright for us in the news center. That makes sense, not just for Gen Zs, but for all of us, I think, Todd. CTV's Todd Batt is standing by at the anchor desk. Hi there.
Hi, yes, it's something that we've heard of this in the past. It's some interesting point of views there. Maria, coming up in the newscast tonight, the future of a Halifax homeless encampment is up for debate at City Hall. It's fueled by some upset homeowners living nearby. The Cogswell Park location is also near a soon-to-open seniors complex. Coming up at 6, more on the future of that particular location. New Brunswick has taken another step towards breaking down interprovincial trade barriers. The province announced today it is formalizing direct-to-consumer alcohol sales. It's also removing limits on the amount of alcohol New Brunswickers can bring in from other provinces. We'll get a breakdown on that from CTV's Derek Haggett tonight at 6 o'clock. Construction workers in Nova Scotia are facing high stress levels, leading to mental health challenges. That's according to a new survey released today by the Construction Safety Nova Scotia Group. It found that over 36% of the workforce experience high or very high stress levels. We will get the full details from Hafsa Arif tonight at 6 o'clock. Right now, let's get some details in the Weather Center. Brianne Foley in for the still vacationing Caleb Mitchell, and boy, can he pick them, right?
Yeah, I mean, he just keeps winning on all of these. As we take a look here at our current temperatures, we are still seeing warmer temperatures, especially in that southwest corner of New Brunswick, as well as throughout Nova Scotia. Of course, there was a heat warning in effect, and it's still currently in effect for most of western and central Nova Scotia. Now, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch as well for parts of New Brunswick, although we've seen that change a little bit. And then we also have a special weather statement in effect. So that's going to be tonight into Tuesday. We're going to expect to see some heavy rainfall coming into the region. Of course, that's the remnants of that post-tropical cyclone Chantal coming up the eastern coast. So that's why we're going to continue to see that. As we take a look here at our current winds, not a whole lot to contend with. Pretty calm conditions, except a little bit of an uptick in winds in that area that's impacted by that severe thunderstorm watch at this time. And as we watch our radar and satellite again, most of the rain right now impacting into northern parts of New Brunswick, but as you can see, that thunderstorm path coming through in the central area, mostly impacting into parts of Fredericton. Of course, Maria, I'll have a full look at that forecast coming up in just a bit.
Excellent. Thank you, Brianne. We'll see you in just a bit. Right now, though, many students around our region are beginning their summer break with a camp. As CTV's Carl Pomeroy shows us, this one requires a lot of courage.
Hi, my name is Andrea Speranza, and welcome to Camp Courage 2025. Woo! Let's go. Camp Courage is an experiential emergency service camp for girls 15 to 19 years old with a special focus on leadership skills. The reason why I founded the camp was because I felt that there was low representation of women in these non-traditional professions, and I felt that if they actually got to physically do the tasks, that they would love it as much as I do, and it's true because we have a 36% success rate of graduates moving on. So today, the girls have a very exciting set of things to do. They're going to do zip line, rappel, get a ride in the truck right here. They are going to do rescue little babies in a smokehouse. They are going to put hazardous material suits on. They are going to learn how to use a hydrant, and they are going to cut a roof off a car and make it into a convertible.
You know, there's so much. There's EHS, there's fire, there's police, so there's all these options. So Camp Courage is great because it gave me everything that I could possibly, you know, want to look into. So yeah, I was just really interested in first responding at first, and then applying to the camp, just seeing all the options like Coast Guard, fire lined up. It was so exciting.
The second day was the Coast Guard day. It was raining, so we all had to wear our ponchos. We got to do so many things that day, and I actually got to see an actual emergency because we had how to pull someone out from the water, save a person in water rescue.
Everyone was so supportive, so kind. It was like I overcame all my fears. Like we did a lot of drills, and it was just so inspiring to see everyone, how they were just right there for you.
If you are a young female or gender diverse youth, age 15 to 19, I would say you should go directly to our website, campcourage.ca, and apply for this life-changing experience. And I assure you, you will not be disappointed.
I don't think so. I think 100% true. Wonderful. What a great opportunity. All right, we're going to take a little break here. We have got an axe to grind when we come back, though.
Takes a lot of skill, a lot of endurance, a lot of strength. So, I mean, it's got a lot of everything.
New Brunswick Lumberjacks battled it out over the weekend. We'll chip away at the details next.
It's time to register your rig for this Special Olympics 2025 convoy. Get your crew together and participate in this day of fun for a great cause. The 14th annual convoy rolls through Dartmouth October 4th. Big rigs, big hearts, big results.
Welcome back. Sharp axes and revved up chainsaws were the tools of choice in Boys Town, New Brunswick over the weekend. As CTV's Nick Moore reports, the New Brunswick Lumberjack Competition has launched a summer circuit of timber sports events right across the region.
Go! The New Brunswick Lumberjack Competition had chainsaws buzzing, axes flying, and athletes trying their best to keep their balance, all on the grounds of the Central New Brunswick Woodsman's Museum in Boys Town.
It's a pile of fun to watch. It's a pile of fun to do it, actually.
Rod Cumberland was one of 26 competitors at Saturday's event. He's also president of the Maritime Lumberjack Association and has championed logging sports ever since competing 40 years ago.
Takes a lot of skill, a lot of endurance, a lot of strength. So, I mean, it's got a lot of everything.
A favorite event of the competition was the kettle boil, a race to build a fire for heating up a can of water. The final event was the boom run, where competitors made an attempt to run across a chain of logs floating in the museum's pond. Some made it, others... This was the first lumberjack competition of the summer for the Maritime Lumberjack Association.
You go to the different events, you get points at every event, and the person with the most points at the end of the year wins.
The annual competition here is a volunteer-driven event at the museum.
We've been kind of lucky this year because the last 4, maybe 5 years, it's been raining every single time. So we kind of lucked out today.
The next lumberjack competition in our region is July 26 in Crapo, Prince Edward Island. Nick Moore, CTV News, Boys Town, New Brunswick.
Thank you, Nick. And if you're interested, you can find a full list of dates for lumberjack competitions around the Maritimes on our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. What a fun event. I'm so glad they had sunshine.
Right? For the first time in 5 years, they're saying it was a sunny weekend for them. So, yeah, we did see those warm conditions continue a little bit today across the region, of course. But as we take a look here, another beautiful day. A little bit of cloud cover over in Sackville, New Brunswick. Of course, we'll have a full look at your weather forecast right after this.
And I'm tired of waiting.
The second annual New Maritime Music Festival rocked Miramichi over the weekend. 2 straight nights of music on Newcastle Boulevard culminated with Saturday night headliners Winter Sleep, and there they are, the Trews, Nova Scotia's one of Nova Scotia's favorites. I don't want to play favorites. Friday night saw July Talk and Joel Plaskett, another favorite, take the stage, and they had perfect weather both nights. And here we go with another favorite, Brienne. All of the musicians in Nova Scotia are going to come after me if I don't say, you're all my favorites. I love you all. You're all beautiful.
And honestly, they're fantastic. There's
really
so much amazing music that comes out of here, right?
It's so true. My favorite is the one that's in front of me. How about that?
There you go. There you go. So any given day. Also, my favorite was the beautiful sun we saw here in the Halifax area today. This is, of course, the Halifax Harbor, the Harbor Hoppers in effect. And yes, that is the HMCS Kingston in the background there as we take a look here at our sunrise and sunset times. However, we do have some watches and warnings in effect. So as we take a look here, we do have a thunderstorm watch as well as a tornado watch now in effect for areas of Fredericton overnight. So that's expected with this low pressure system that's moving in. We're starting to see some thunderstorms coming through. We're also seeing a heat warning in effect. That's going to end a little bit later into today. And then we have a special weather statement for tomorrow, late tonight and into Tuesday. And we're going to see that through most of mainland Nova Scotia with rain heavy at times and thunderstorms also expected. So these are situations we are going to continue to monitor. And as we take a look here at our current temperatures, we are seeing warmer temperatures around that area where the severe thunderstorm watch as well as tornado watch is in effect. And that's, of course, because we are having that extra moisture in the air. We're continuing to see those warmer temperatures. And then, of course, with that heat warning still in effect for most of Nova Scotia, we're continuing to see those warmer temperatures at this time as well. So taking a look at those humidex values, again, that south corner of New Brunswick, really seeing the impacts of that humidex Index, and we're going to continue to see it through western parts of Nova Scotia, really impacting into the Truro area as well as into Kentville. So again, central Nova Scotia a little bit cooler along the coastline, but we are still seeing warmer temperatures still settling into the region. Taking a look here at our sustained winds at this time, we are seeing a little bit of an increase in winds, again, in that Fredericton area where that wind is coming through. So that's something to take note of. And as we watch our forecasted timeline for today, again, we are expecting that low pressure system. So the remnants of post-tropical cyclone Chantal coming through the area. And that's why we're seeing significant rainfall. We're going to see it heavy at times. And that's why we have that special weather statement in effect. Could see up to 25 millimeters at times when the rain is heaviest. So that is a system that's going to continue throughout Tuesday and into the evening, as well as into the late night, overnight for parts of western Nova Scotia, as well as over into parts of eastern Nova Scotia. So that system's pretty fast moving, but we are going to be contending with it for pretty much all day tomorrow. As we take a look here overnight, again, thunderstorm watch, that tornado watch currently in effect as well. Into Tuesday, we will see that clearing through northern parts of the province early in the morning, and we're going to continue to see some fog clearing along the coastline. We'll see some morning showers continuing for southern parts of New Brunswick before things clear out a little bit there in the afternoon. Over on Prince Edward Island, morning showers, a risk of thunderstorms. Those winds will die down a little bit as we head later into the day. Much the same over in Cape Breton. We're going to continue to see some of those showers as well as those thunderstorms into the late afternoon. Central Nova Scotia is going to see showers that are going to be heavy at times. Again, that warning in effect, as well as a risk of thunderstorms. We're going to see some fog again, especially along the coastline, retreating inland. It's going to be warmer inland in western parts of Nova Scotia, but again, we are going to see those heavier showers at times with the risk of thunderstorms. So again, a couple of systems that we are watching coming through, so it is important to continue to monitor those, and we will have a look at those again a little bit later in the 6 o'clock hour. But now let's take a look here at our weather watcher for today. And it is Cadence McNutt, who is 8 years old and sends us a beautiful drawing of flowers growing out of a boot in beautiful Perot, Nova Scotia. So thank you so much for that. If you have a photo that you want to send us, email it to kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca, or of course you can send it by mail. Maria?
Thank you, Brianne. So the 4th annual Leo's Donair Festival was held on Sunday in Timberley, Nova Scotia. CTV's Carl Pomeroy shows us the popular event brought the community together to support a great cause.
So here today is a beautiful community event for our 4th annual Leo's Donair Festival. And, you know, all the proceeds and profits go to the IWK. It's for a great cause. And every year it's improving. And we're very thrilled with that. We had a fire many moons ago, and the community donated clothes and never forgot about us. So this is why we like to do this event, to give back. Donairs are actually the official food of Halifax ever since 2015, and it all started in Halifax in the early 1970s. And what a way to start this festival with serving the official food.
Well, it's Nova Scotia, so everybody loves Donairs. So, and this is just another way to bring families and kids and everybody into the Donair spectrum, if you will.
We saw that they had like a bouncy castle and a bunch of stuff for kids, so we came to take our son, who's 2. He loves all this stuff, and we like supporting local businesses. And
it's great for the kids. They love the bouncy castles, and the food is obviously great, and to support the IWK as well.
This is our 3rd time coming here, and we love that they put this on. It like we always run into our neighbors here. It's super fun, brings a lot of community spirit.
We start thinking about this festival, honestly, probably close to the fall time. We think about other ways how we can improve it, get new sponsorship on board, and we just go from there. I mean, the community has really made it what it is today.
Looks like everybody had a great time, too. Congrats, you guys. All right, going to take a break. Here's a preview of our next story.
I'm Ryan McDonald in Whitney Pier, Nova Scotia, where the man they used to call the godfather of Cape Breton running used to lace him up on these streets daily. Now he's being remembered in a unique way by another man who lives half a country away. The story's coming up.
Mornings with Aaron and Peter.
60 seconds, 10 questions. If you can pull that off, you're going to win $1,000.
Join us every weekday at 7 a.m. for the $1,000 Minute.
Welcome back. The man people call the godfather of the Cape Breton running community is being remembered in a new way 2 years after he passed away. As CTV's Ryan McDonald shows us, he's received a tip of the hat from another runner.
These two men were born more than 50 years apart, and in fact, they hardly ever met.
Just the once. It was like 2 minutes.
Aaron Manning of Toronto remembers a chance conversation with Peter Hanna at the Cabot Trail Relay Race in 2019, when the man many called the godfather of Cape Breton running was nearly 80 years old and was participating in the grueling race despite fighting a cancer he would end up passing away from a few years later.
It was just kind of striking to me, like, this guy is, close to the end of his life, and he's just like, I refuse to give this up because it's something that I just love doing.
Now, Manning has launched his own coaching program for athletes. When choosing a name, he remembered the man who completed all 17 legs of the Cabot Trail Relay twice, so he went with 217, explaining it's the kind of no-quit mindset he wants to embody.
The name 217 kind of comes from that. I want to just do it, just have a little bit of a tip of the cap to that attitude and that spirit.
In yet another nod to Peter's legacy, an annual race in his memory, the Peter Hanna 5-miler, will take place here on Wednesday, passing through the streets of Whitney Pier that Peter used to run daily.
I think that's a really cool idea of him thinking about him like that.
Connor Day is Peter Hanna's 15-year-old grandson. He'll run in his grandfather's race on Wednesday and says it's an honor anytime someone remembers the godfather.
Like, my grandfather's a runner now. I'm trying to take up running and everything, and always when I'm out running, there's somebody that knows who he is and just around the community.
Back in Toronto, Manning hopes whatever his athletes accomplish might in some small way help grow Peter's legacy even further.
People won't know about it, and then we'll tell them to say, yeah, there was this guy, maybe you've heard of him, maybe you haven't, but he was the first to ever do all 17 legs twice, and then maybe they go check out the documentary, maybe they go read more about him.
Divine inspiration from the Godfather, a man he met only once but never forgot. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
That's all it takes to leave an impact, huh? That's wonderful. Thank you, Aaron and Connor. What a great way to remember your grandfather.
Absolutely.
All right, we're looking at the weather.
Yep, we'll have more on that at 6. There's lots happening.
Lots happening. Don't miss it. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.